Hello and welcome, Nedbank Pitch Polish fans. I'm your host, Zinati Guma. Over the past few weeks, we've seen entrepreneurs step into the pitching arena, hoping to impress our judges in just 90 seconds. Some have handled the pressure brilliantly, and others have discovered that it's not quite as easy as it looks on TV. Tonight, two more hopefuls will step up to the mic and give it their all. But before we get to the pitches, let's take a look at where things stand, shall we? Two of our coveted round two spots are already accounted for. Heinrich and Zanele from the red group are safely through, and tonight we'll find out who from the green group will be joining them. With the second elimination ahead of us, the pressure is definitely starting to build. And although our contestants are putting a fair amount of pressure on themselves, a lot of it is coming from our judges, Alon, Monique and Zama. It's understandable though when you consider that they've been tasked with finding one deserving entrepreneur who's going to bag that R1 prize package made up of 650,000 Rand and a bursary for a Raise Corp incubation program. That's no small task, so no wonder the judges are taking it so seriously. Well, speaking of our judges, they're ready to give tonight's first contestant a grilling. Let's welcome Philendree Govender from right here in Gauteng. She's the founder of tech company Raion Connect. Good luck in there, Philendree.
Hi, Philendry.
Good day.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You're feeling good. Good. That's a good feeling to have. And are you ready to pitch?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Good day, judges, and thank you for the opportunity. My name is Philendree, and I'm the founder of Raion Connect. At Raion Connect, we are not just another online seller. We are building a platform business focused on creating simpler and smarter ways for products, services, and operations to connect and scale. Across marketplaces such as Macro, Amazon, Takealot, and most especially Nedbank Avo, we have grown strong back-end operational processes which have improved fulfillment, stock visibility, and overall customer experience. Over the past few years, we have had an increase and the results have shown. So in 2024, we have made over 5 million Rand in sales, with an increase in 2025 with over 10 million Rand sales. With the 650,000, we are looking at strengthening our stock availability, our improving our fulfillment processes, as well as growing our operational capacity and continuing to grow and develop our platform. At Raion Connect, we are not just selling products. We are building the future of infrastructure and commerce in Africa. Thank you.
Thanks, Philendree. I'm going to start. I don't know what you do.
So we are a platform business. So, if you think about a platform in simple terms, a platform is as simple as a train station. So we allow for connectivity between point A and B, and same with a customer and a service, or a customer and goods. Like with the different marketplaces that we have been on, we have completed that connectivity, and it's just the foundation for connecting two sources, essentially.
Okay, I think I've embarrassed myself enough. Let's go to you, Monique.
Sure, I have to try not to embarrass myself now. When you say you make it simpler,
Yes.
simply tell me how you do that.
So we make it simpler by, you as a customer, you want to purchase an item, and me as a seller, I want to sell you that item. So obviously we'll have to look at pricing. We have competitors out there that might be selling the same laptop that we are. So obviously, we want to make sure that you're getting the best pricing without us making a loss. So that fulfillment process that I'm talking about is me getting you that product as quickly as possible.
One more. How do you differentiate yourself from an Avo, a Takealot, and Amazon?
So we are not competing necessarily with just an Avo, Nedbank. They are our partners, and we are looking at a bigger picture. So we're looking at the future and the opportunity around the platform and what the platform can actually produce. So the platform's potential is endless. So we're not only looking from a product and an e-commerce side of things, we're also looking at, managed services, virtual farming, and anything that's possible with platforms. We're also looking at empowering future possible sellers in the market by having them use our system, because the complexity around actually getting onto some of these platforms is a bit of a hindrance to some small sellers, and they might have great products which are not visible to all.
Thank you.
Zama?
The laptop, do you own it?
So we don't own it. You own it. So basically,
No, I want to buy.
yes. So as soon as you make that purchase, it's an agreement between you and I, correct? So you might buy it through Nedbank Avo, and you would purchase the item on day one. We would then procure the item, get the item dispatched to you, and you would receive your item.
Okay, so there is a manufacturer, which is Apple.
Correct.
I'm
Correct.
looking for a MacBook.
Correct.
So you buy that
Correct.
and then you sell it to me.
Correct. So because we have, a large inventory list, it is quite difficult to hold all that inventory. We do hold stock of fast-moving items, but not all listings, because there are some specialty items that we do sell. So we also do sell to businesses as well, and we can't store servers or certain bespoke items to keep it on hand.
Last one. What's your biggest cost driver?
Our biggest cost driver right now is operations and working capital. Working capital, due to the fact that there's sometimes a gap between the period that we sell the item to you and then we get a payout from the marketplace. So there is a little bit of a timing issue, and that is what we're looking at, growing and developing. There's sometimes a net deficit of 15 days that I have to carry.
Have you ever had fraud?
Fraud. Many times. If you sell anything, and even if you have a spaza shop or an online store, you're going to have fraud. But there are security measures, as well as processes that the team follow in order to avoid fraud. We have not been
caught.
impacted by it,
Yeah.
but we've had people try to buy. I think our first sale was actually 10 laptops. We were overexcited, and then we didn't receive the money. So we didn't dispatch it, obviously, but that was part of the problem.
Okay, thanks, Philendree. When you're gone, I'm going to ask them again to explain it to me. But you may leave. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now explain it to me, because I'm trying to work out.
Oh, it's
I'm
true.
being- it's
You
true. I
really
still-
want it.
I know.
She's a reseller.
But
Yeah.
is it on
She's
her
a re-
site?
She's got her own site,
Yes.
and then she's a reseller on all
Yes.
the other sites.
It's why
She's trying to build her own site.
Yeah, but I'm trying to work. So how does she sell if he wants to buy that laptop? How does she? If I go to Takealot or to
That's
Avo,
why I asked if she's got a distribution model.
So I
First.
say I want this laptop.
On-
She knows now that I want it.
but
She
how
goes
does she
and
know?
buy.
No,
How
she'll
does she
go to
know?
the
I go to
distributor.
her.
She'll go to the distributor. So you'll find that laptop on Avo, right?
Yes.
She's the reseller of that level of that laptop. It's sitting in a warehouse in a
Yeah.
distributor.
Yeah.
That order is going from the distributor to you,
Yes.
and then she's getting paid.
But how does she know I want it? If how
'Cause
is
it's on-
Avo allowing her to know that I want to buy from Evo. How is she into? I'm trying to work it. How
The interface.
Because
how is she like?
they merchants on Evo, so she'd be a merchant. She would come to Evo and say, "I'm selling laptops." Evo will ask her, "Well, how much are you selling them for?" Blah. Okay, take that stock and go and put it in that distribution house.
Yeah.
You then go and you
So
pay for them.
she's selling all the stuff on those platforms.
Yes, but she's
Okay.
also got her own that
That's
she's
what
trying to build.
She's sitting on their platforms.
Yes.
Okay, I thought she was like somehow she was because I couldn't work that out.
She's trying to build her own one also. So she's on these other ones.
Yeah.
And she's trying to build her own one also.
Okay. Well, thanks for explaining.
It's fine. Glad to be of
Yes.
assistance.
Okay.
English. Are we talking or
Yeah.
we scoring?
No, we have to we have to talk. So what do you think?
I think we have talked.
Yeah.
We have to talk.
So what do you think of it?
There's nothing into business besides building that platform. It's something that is out there. I mean, everyone. I thought maybe she's coming with what I sometimes call an Uber model or an Airbnb model where she doesn't own anything.
Yeah.
But she just makes money off the transactions that go through her platform.
Yeah.
So initially I thought so that,
but she is purchasing and she is distributing.
She's just a reseller.
She's a reseller. She's a drop shipping.
She's purchasing. She might not be distributing, but she's paying for distribution.
She's a drop shipping.
She's drop shipping.
Yeah. That's what.
And all she's trying
so
to
why
do
didn't
is,
she just say that?
Yeah.
She agreed with you.
Yeah, but she should have said up front. She made me work very hard to understand.
To get it.
Yeah. All right.
Are we finished talking?
Yes, we finished talking. Let's get scoring.
Philendree, well done on getting through that grilling. But I just want to ask, because obviously there are lessons to be learned here, right? 5 seconds. What do you do? And please use the example of the laptop. We're not asking you to pitch again, but what do you do?
We connect something with someone.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay, that's really it. So you connect the laptop with someone.
Yeah. Laptop serves anything.
Anything.
That's possible to be connected.
Yes.
It's like the train example that I use. If you want to reach something or get somewhere, we make it happen.
So we should call you the connector. All right.
So that's what we are, right?
There we go. All right. There were two parts to that, right? Let's actually start off with the pitch, because you walked in quite confident. And I mean, the pitch is really something that you can control. How did you feel about that?
Well, nerves kick in.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not something that we do on a daily around being on camera.
Yeah.
So it's my first. So I was very excited to meet the judges and just tell them a little bit more about myself and get a little bit more around the company out there as well. And the exposure that the Pitch and Polish has is immense. So I'm just proud to be here today, and I'm glad I made it to the top 16.
Yeah. And then came the Q&A session. Were you grilled or were you grilled?
You know.
Do you want to see them again?
Definitely. I want to see them again. I'm hoping they want to see me again. So that's the most important part. So.
Okay. Most important lesson here.
Keep it simple.
All right. There we go.
Keep it simple.
Right. Making life simpler as a connector should.
Correct.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
your time.
you.
We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so technology is supposed to make life easier, but obviously explaining your tech business in just 90 seconds is a little bit trickier. Look, Philendree clearly understands the tech space, but in a competition like this, running a successful business and being able to clearly communicate what you do are two very different skills, which is why initiatives like Pitch and Polish, made possible only with the support of our incredible sponsors Nedbank and Umgeni Utugela Water, and our program organizer Raion, play such an important role in helping entrepreneurs sharpen both of those skills. Next up, representing Nyami Seafood is Nadine, who is meant to be joined by her partner Sibaraboy Malele, but seems to be flying solo. Let's see what's going on.
Hi Nadine. On my thing here, it says here that there is supposed to be in front of me Nadine and Sibaraboy.
Correct, yes.
I only see Nadine.
He's unfortunately sick. I had to come and kind of carry the load for both of us.
So if you win, is he going to give you all the money?
Well, I hope so.
All right. And then just one other question before we start.
Yes.
Nyami Nyami,
Mm.
what does that mean?
So it's actually based on folklore. A long time ago, along the Zambezi, there was a folklore of a mystical god that would come during a time of drought.
That's like the snake thing.
Correct.
Okay.
And it would come at a time of drought, and it would have fish on its back and feed the people close to the river. So because we want to create access, it kind of made sense, and it was something relatable.
Okay. Great. Are you ready to pitch?
Yes, I am.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
What do you do with 12 years of seafood industry experience? We decided to create access. My name is Nadine, co-founder of Nyami Seafood, a food distribution company focusing on fresh and frozen seafood. We currently supply restaurants, retail, and also consumers. We supply products such as salmon, prawns, hake, and lionfish. Our lionfish is sourced directly from fishing communities to create access for them in markets they generally wouldn't often have. We also have designed a reseller model where communities would be able to partner with Nyami and sell in their communities, thus creating micro entrepreneurs. And we find that to help create employment. Nyami Seafood would use the prize money for cold chain facilities, installing a cold room, 20% would go to 20% would go to capital, as well as working capital to purchase stock, as well as 15% going to sales and marketing to improve our Shopify store. We've got a lot of visitors, but unfortunately are unable to convert for the consumer market. And we would be able to be found at www.nyaminyamiseafood.co.za.
Thanks, Nadine. Let's start with you, Zama, seeing as you come from KZN by the sea.
Well, yes, someone from Gauteng trying to sell me the fish. Also, out of curiosity, you guys are very far from the sources of the product that you are selling. How did this sound like it's something that needs to be done?
So I've spent 12 years in the industry, working in food distribution and specializing in seafood. A lot of the product in Joburg and in South Africa is actually imported, so we work directly with importers. And I guess because of my industry experience, I saw a gap where we could involve communities in reselling and build something that was more inclusive. So that's kind of how I fell into seafood distribution.
So is the whole thing about access to fishermen a small part of the story, and 95% is imports?
So in all honesty, the bigger vision is access to fishermen, but because we don't have the capital to do what we want to do on a bigger scale, it's something that we're slowly trying to integrate and build a community around. And that's why we've joined the competition in order for us to have a distribution center where we're able to hold more stock and buy in better volumes from these communities. And thus they will be making a lot more.
You spoke about your 12 years experience
Yes.
In the industry. Sabaraboy, what's his experience?
So he's in project management, and he's my partner and significant other. So we joined forces, and he helps me with operations and seeing where, mostly advising on the trajectory that we should be going in.
So who's the CEO?
I'm more hands-on.
So why have you got 49%?
Well, in all honesty, because he invested in the business. He was my first investor, and I said that if he believed in me, with time, then I would be able to buy it back.
Okay. Just talk to me about the AI. You mentioned there's your AI-enabled platform.
Yes.
I know it's a buzzword, but what does that do?
All right. So that's something that we aim to introduce that would be able to help our chefs with their ordering, see what their history in ordering was, and then check what their stock holdings, stock levels are based on their usage and how often they buy. It will build some sort of a profile and understanding how the chef has been ordering. And then it would make it easier for him to process or place his orders. Right now, chefs are getting cold calls, which they don't enjoy from internal salespeople, and we want to do away with that pain point. So after cash up, he can quickly just put through an order and it will be delivered tomorrow.
Right, thank you. Monique?
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I'm a fan.
Thank you. Gosh. On the important
The
piece,
celeb
celeb
status.
status of
Don't let
this.
it go to your head.
I'd like to understand where you sit in the value chain, please.
Okay.
So, and how does the Shopify store connect to that?
All right. So in the value chain at the moment, we are a distributor. The goal is to one day have a controlling stake in the value chain where we would be able to link. We've got a contact in Zanzibar, and we would want to build a network of seafood people with access to the ocean and kind of promote trade within the continent. That is the bigger idea, working with these communities and kind of encouraging people to work with one another. So our role is pretty much giving access to restaurants and consumers that they ordinarily wouldn't have access to. And then to answer your question about the Shopify site, that's something that I did when I wasn't well, and I thought it would be something good to offer to individuals, offering them restaurant quality seafood at a affordable price. Because if you walk into a Woolworth, for example, their product costs 900 Rand a kilo, but when we are selling to individuals, we're selling at about 700 Rand. So saving them as well and offering them a more premium product.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks
for coming.
Thank you.
All right. So, what did you think?
Yeah, I think sometimes people also just want to say words
That are gonna sound clever.
to hook you in. I mean, the community reseller program doesn't exist.
Yes, exactly.
The helping township entrepreneurs doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You are a stockist that is supplying restaurants.
And with imported goods and
the whole thing of small fishing communities, it's such a beautiful
story.
sentiment.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
no.
They're not anywhere near there.
No, I like the business story.
Yeah,
I like the name. Really.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice to me. But why are you so antsy about the partner? What, like, you just hooked in there?
My information says he wasn't present in the mentoring which took place, which I do believe that he is sick today. But my last question is, in the business, it's clear to me that she's running this. Her whole language was, she's running this. This is 12 years of her experience. And then he's in operations, but then he's not there full time, and then he invested. There's something else going on there. So I don't like to be lied to. And I feel that this was presented as something that wasn't what it is. And that's a pity, because I really think that the business is a good business and it's got huge potential. And so you don't need to then manufacture AI and communities and a partner who's the CEO but works somewhere else. I've never heard of a CEO working somewhere else.
Project manager.
Yeah, nobody was.
She's
the CEO, but he's the 51%. Yeah.
In my view, I really don't know whether they. Sometimes confidence also plays part. Trying to say things that are gonna sound right. The other guy could have been easily been presented as an investor or a founder of the business.
Exactly. So say it. Say it so. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Then say what it is, and that's what it is, and that's fine. And then I wouldn't be tripping over it the whole time. That's why.
Okay.
Let's get scoring now.
Nadine, well done on your pitch, but where's the salmon?
Oh, girl, it's coming. Let me through to the next round and then.
All right, you were pitching alone where you were supposed to be pitching with a partner.
Oh.
How did it feel pitching alone? How confident were you?
It was a little bit nerve-wracking because obviously we were supposed to work together. He's unfortunately not well.
Yeah.
But I think that I did not a bad job, if you ask me. There is room for improvement, and hopefully the next round he'll be here.
They asked you significant questions. Are there questions that you maybe weren't too prepared for, and maybe because the two of you have specific expertise in certain areas?
I think when it comes to the matter of AI and how we would integrate it,
Yeah.
that's one that I
Okay.
probably need to sharpen on.
Okay.
But yeah.
Were there certain things that you are now rethinking after they asked you those questions, or maybe are you thinking in a different way when it comes to some areas of the business where you could improve, especially looking at, for example, the ownership structure that Alon was very focused on?
Yeah, I think that it's a good motivator for me, but it's definitely something that we can discuss and look into.
Yeah.
But I think it's good motivation for me because if I'm able to return on my promise, then
All right.
yeah, I don't see a problem.
All right. But for now, things are working as they should. Well, Nadine, thank you so much for your time and all the best for the rest of your journey.
Thank you.
Some strong words from Alon there, but I think it speaks to an important lesson in this competition. Ambition is great, but the judges also want authenticity. If your core business is already strong, sometimes trying to make it sound more techy or overhyping projects that aren't quite up and running yet can actually weaken your pitch instead of strengthening it. But there are no do-overs in Nedbank Pitch and Polish. All the contestants can do now is wait for their scores and see if they did enough to pitch another day. Let's go check in with the judges. Hello, judges. I'm back and the ball is rolling. We heard from the Green Group, and I must say that they gave us a lot of diversity in the delivery of their pitches, but also their businesses. I mean, I'm sure this was a difficult one, and I'm not surprised that it took you a little bit longer to cast your votes today. So I'm really looking forward to the elimination round. But let's get to it and start off with Peace, who is in health tech. Ozama, I want to actually start off with you, right? Are you sold?
I think what he's bringing into the market has got huge value from a health perspective. Where probably I'm showing a bit of doubt is the practicality from a business point of view. But it was interesting to know that he's got clients that have signed up, and probably that should shush me stop me in my tracks. But I like it. I like someone who's exploring and pushing technology to the limits.
Yeah.
The jury is still out in terms of this working right in the market. I'm not saying it won't work, but I would love to see it working because it contributes to the health side of things for us.
Alon, can I just ask an interesting question? Because you asked an interesting question, that who is he? Why was that important?
Well, he missed that opportunity. He told us who he was, but what I was looking for, honestly, was what's his authority to be standing here in front of me? Is he a technical guy? Is he an engineer? Like, what gives him authority to stand in front of me that I need to trust what he says is true? So I loved his personal story, great personal story, but that's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear his authority to be in front of me. Okay. I've got 10 years experience in this. I'm an engineer. I've built 2 other products like this. That's what I wanted to hear.
All right. Well, while we're talking about authority, let's move on to Thabo the tourist. And Zama has some authority in this space because he's an art lover, right? I mean, we know that there are lots of players in the tourism space in South Africa, but he's saying that he's focusing specifically on art. Zama, is this a competitive advantage?
It should be. He is in a very, very tough space, but probably is also in the tough space at the right time in terms of acceptance for his product. I think if you miss now, in terms of wanting to get you out there, and probably you would miss for a very, very long time. I think the market is, the ground is fertile, and I think he just needs to do his things right and be able to rule the space. And the niche that he has chosen in terms of tourism, I know a lot of people will start jumping into it and so on. But what I like about this is that unlike any other product that everyone can come in, there is a personal touch here. He is the business as well.
Mm.
And if he knows his story around tourism and art, and probably he did say that he's an artist, I think he could do a whole lot of good things.
Onika, I saw a nod there. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I really liked his whole stance around market access. Oftentimes, you find people will say, when we ask him, why did you get involved in this business? He said, because small businesses don't have market access. He then practically went on to show how he gives that market access, how he's done it in the past, so his experience again, but how he's doing it now. So it's not just a buzzword that he's bandying about. He understands the gap and he's filling the gap. So I thought that was brilliant.
All right. Well, let's move on to Philendree, who had everybody confused. Alon, do you know what she does now?
She's a dropshipper. She should have just told me. But she did confuse me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm wondering then, because do you feel like there could be an element where entrepreneurs use too much jargon, where this could actually count against her in this competition?
I feel like the stupid one here, because I didn't understand that she was trying to explain. It seems like my fellow judges understood immediately. But I was confused because she has her own site and she uses other sites. So I was trying to work out what she does, what she's trying to do.
Yeah.
And so it's not just more about all the jargon, it's also the fact that she's mixing models. And so that confused me in terms of the mix of the models. So then her strategy was not clear to me. Oh, I'm trying to be good in this. And then I would have understood. But lucky we've got smarter judges than I.
Well, I actually want to go to Monique. Obviously, there's Avo in Nedbank, and Alon talks about the fact that her business model is muddled up with other models. Do you think that there could be a thin line here between competition and partnership in her business?
I think so. I think, one of the things she said is that I'm going to make it simpler. But she couldn't actually articulate what was she going to make simpler through the process. Yeah. The other thing is that, yes, there's nothing wrong with wanting to bolster your own platform, create your own platform. There's no such a thing as not being able to take on other market leaders that are out there. It's important for entrepreneurs to look at that. But I think what she's not seeing is that the very thing that she's trying to close the gap on with her current placements is that she says it's a cost thing, it's a pricing thing. When you bring all that stock onto your side, when you bring all that infrastructure onto your side, your costs are going to go up as well. So how are you going to remain competitive, and how are you going to bring in that simplicity that you say you want to do? I think that it's important for her to look at it broader, because in mixing up the models, you're going to have to look at your pricing and your distribution very differently.
All right. Well, let's go on to the last contestant, and that's Nadine. Of course, she was supposed to come with a partner. You said, Zama, that you felt like a Joburg person who was trying to sell you fish. Alana, I want to come to you because there seem to be two sides to this business, right? There's the noble act of giving these fishermen access to market, but then there's the commercialization aspect where they engage with restaurants. Do you think there is a balance there?
I think there's a noble words, not noble act.
It's an aspiration.
The
way we saw it, or I saw it, is that there is an aspiration on that, but that's not what is happening right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a noble aspiration. I'm doubtful that it's a noble act, and if it is a noble act, it is so minuscule. It doesn't move the needle. I think what's important for me is that, I get this as a pitching competition. But this isn't about the pitch. We will dig, we will look in the numbers. If she gets through to the next phases, we're going to go into the numbers and dig through there.
Mm.
So what makes this competition unique is the authenticity that's embedded in the process. And that's what I kept testing for. I think you felt I kept
Yeah.
testing for authenticity.
Yeah. Do you think there's also aspiration in the AI aspect as well? Because that's something that she brought in, but it
Same.
didn't really.
Same, exactly the same.
Yeah. All right. Monica, I want to come to you because she was quite a fangirl of yours. But
Makes me quite shy, actually.
you're a celebrity here. You're a celebrity. But are you a fan of her pitch?
I enjoyed her pitch because, you know, it was authentic in the sense that she eventually got to the point of, this is what I do. To Alon's point, entrepreneurs must be careful about padding their pitches in the hope that we're going to get stuck on certain things, like community programs and enabling fishermen. That's all wonderful. But if that's aspirational, once we dig or once we ask a question, you're going to unravel very, very quickly when that's not what you do. And I think with time, unfortunately, we got down to the crux of what her business is, in that she actually is a supplier to restaurants. So you've got to be careful, because you're not, wherever you speak to, whether it be a potential supplier, whether it be a potential customer, the more they question, the more they probe. If you haven't got your story straight, it's going to unravel very, very quickly. And sometimes it's hard to sort of, fans or not, to recoup after that.
Well, judges, thank you very much for your feedback. I'm sure this was a difficult round, so looking forward to see what you have for us in your votes. Well, there you have it. The Green Group gave us quite interesting pitches, and we got fascinating feedback from the judges. So they clearly want to see more evidence than aspiration, and we will get your answers in the upcoming elimination round.
All right, welcome to the elimination round. This is our worst part. It's a competition, and therefore there'll be winners and losers, and you know the story. So let's get on with it. Today I've decided just to follow the sequence in which you arrived today. So first that arrived on my list here is peace. Right, peace. Let's talk about your pitch. Your storytelling is incredible. You really tell a great story. You're quite charismatic in terms of how you tell a story. You feel like, I just want to hear more and more and more. So that's a very important skill for any entrepreneur, is the ability to tell the story of their business. And your personality came out. You're quite casual. I'm ex-Durban, so I can say this. You come across as a Durbanite, you're chilled, it comes across. So it's nice that your personality came through, which is very important in terms of connecting with an audience. But I've written here, you're very relaxed as your positive, and I wrote here, you're very relaxed as your negative. Because this is a pitch for R1 million, it felt like you were too relaxed. It felt like you took this too casually. So that came across, and that even came across in your language. I always listen to language. And when you spoke about your use of your budget, and your words were, and I wrote down your words, were, we'll use it for a little bit of this. We'll do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You weren't specific. Now, as an investor's mindset, when you're not specific with my money, I get nervous. So, what else aren't you specific about? So, I know you're casual, but when it comes to this environment, you're specific. This is what I'm going to use your money for, or this is what I'm going to do. Then I wrote here, it felt like you were doing a product pitch, not an investor pitch, because you never spoke about how you were going to use the money. All right. So that's what you came for, is to pitch for the money, but you never spoke about the money. We sort of try to get that afterwards in the Q&A, but you never spoke about that in your pitch. You were telling us about your fantastic product. So so there's your positive, your negative, and for those reasons, Today you are going to be eliminated. You may leave. Thank you. You can go back to the beach. Thank you. Right. Thabo, you came out next. I understand you're 1.9 meters. That's a very tall person. Thabo, positive. When you were in the Q&A, you were great. Your pitch, you stumbled in your pitch, but you sort of came out in your Q&A. You, like when we spoke to you just normally, you like started to shine. And I just want to recognize that we saw that there was a different person from who pitched to us to the Q&A. We all love the fact that you came out as an artist and that you shared your authority in the space. You said, I'm an artist, I've been in retail. What we were very concerned about, or I was certainly concerned about, is whether you were commercial or not. You gave the hints that you were commercial in terms of how you thought about this. It felt that you very much owned the understanding of the ecosystem and the industry, and that came out very, very strong. But on the negative side, when you were talking about using, I think the number was 270,000 for the vehicle, what many entrepreneurs miss is that you might be buying the vehicle, but now you said your words were, my only cost is petrol. That's not true. There's maintenance, there's insurance, there might be a driver. It comes with a whole bunch of other costs. And so I went from thinking, you're commercial, to, he's not commercial, right? So that was a negative. And then in the competition space, either there is no competition or you don't know about the competition. And I've never been in an industry where there is no competition. It doesn't happen. So I think your awareness of your competitors, either direct or indirect, was not strong enough, and you didn't bring that through. Thabo, as a result of this, you actually make it through. You will be staying. So well done. Right, who came out next? It was Philendree. Yeah. So obviously one of you two now are going to go. So I'm not going to announce it till the end. The one thing that lacks in South Africa is big dreamers, and it comes across in your pitch that you're a big dreamer. And as an investor, it's very important for us to back big dreamers. We don't want to back, as an investor, we don't want to back a spaza shop. We want to back the spaza shop owner who wants to build 100 of them and supermarkets. That's what you want to back. And your big dreams came through. You also very cleverly spoke about your growth in your pitch, and that, so you went from 5 million to 10 million. The inference is that it'll go to 20 million quite soon. And as an investor, it's a big turn on to hear about a business that is growing, because you certainly don't want to invest in a business that's either in decline or just flatlining. So very, very well done there. You came across a little nervous in your pitch, which didn't do well for you. And then you battled with me, and I will own that. You battled with me understanding your business. Now, I think I understand your business now because my co-judges here sort of educated me when you left. But I've been around a long time, and I've seen a lot of things. And so it meant that you needed to explain that to me a little simpler. You confused me with all the different models. So there were too many models in what you were doing, and I didn't know what model you were chasing, what was your strategy. Then I was very concerned, I'm very concerned about, this seems to be a low margin, high volume business, and that's going to suck cash, which it's already doing. And so as you expand, as an investor, I'm worried, now what? You're growing, and now I just have to keep putting more and more money into this business. Yeah, I think you should have just said, I'm a drop shipper, and then I would have understood. Nadine, you and I also had a little bit of a battle. I've battled with the both of you. But let's start with the positive. You told us about your authoritative nature to be in front of me, 12 years in this industry. I was on the other side. I believe that. Like, it feels like you know this industry very, very well, right? Your experience came through. It was like, I always listen to how you speak. I listen to the words and the how you speak. And I was testing for, does she know what she's doing in this industry? And green light came on. Yes, she knows what she's doing in this industry. Where you fell down is you made the same mistake as many of the entrepreneurs have done, is you talk in percentages. About, I'm going to use 12% for this and 15%. Just tell me how much money you're going to spend, you know, on this, that, and the other. Don't talk in percentages, because I can't work it out. You obviously worked out, maybe you weren't, but certainly Philendree worked out I wasn't so bright. So don't talk to me in percentages. Talk to me in rands and cents. And then your big trip up was all this talk about how these, I wanted to pull out the violin about how you're going to help all these fishermen, these poor fishermen who don't get access to market. It's a sad story, and how you do it. But then when you speak about it, then it comes out that you're just an importer like everyone else, and you do very little of it. And then when you did speak about it again, you spoke about Zanzibar and those fishermen. So now I'm going, well, which local fishermen are you talking about? Which violin? Do I bring out the South African violin or the Zanzibar violin? Which violin do I come out? And that starts saying, okay, what else is she not telling the whole truth about? And I get you standing up there and in a pitch mode, but we're going to dig. And then it came to, obviously, what I was kept tripping on about was your partner and his role. And then the AI was also thrown in. So I felt like, what will make me sound good? And you felt like you threw those all in. So then it went from highly authentic to inauthentic. And you're also in a growing business, and it also requires cash, to grow that business. So now I'm left with the two of you, and I've got two traders. Okay. Two businesses, one I didn't understand, one I did understand. One where it felt inauthentic with authoritative, and one with authoritative that did feel authentic. And after much debate, this was a big debate, the person who's going to be going through by the skin of her teeth is Nadine. Philendree, by the skin of your teeth, you need to go. Thank you. So the two of you heard the feedback. What's very important is that you use that feedback in the next round. And we want to see something different. We want to see something better. And well done to you both, and see you next time. You may leave.
Well, sadly, we have to say goodbye to Peace and Philendree, two talented entrepreneurs, but we know great things lie ahead for them. For Thabo and Nadine, though, the competition continues. But as Alon reminded them, making it through isn't the finish line, because the next time they see them, the judges expect to see growth, improvement, and a much stronger understanding of how to communicate the business behind the pitch. Now, if you are paying close attention tonight, here's your chance to win a 5,000 Rand Avo Super Shop voucher, courtesy of our friends at Nedbank, just for watching. Tonight's question for our viewer competition is, who was the first contestant to be eliminated in tonight's episode? Who was the first contestant to be eliminated in tonight's episode? If you think you know the answer, send it along with your name via WhatsApp to the number on your screen before midnight tonight. And that's it for tonight's episode. Next week, we kick off the Blue Group pitches with two very different businesses and two very different entrepreneurs. And each of them has just 90 seconds to make a lasting impression. We'll see how they handle the pressure next time on Nedbank Pitch Polish 2026. Good night.
The biggest lesson I've learned today is being able to explain what a platform is, what it does, and how to relay that message to an individual who's not in the technical field.
We wake up, we try, we hustle every single day, and we keep working towards our targets and objectives. And this is what happens to me on a pretty much daily basis. I get tons of these no's all the time. It hurts, it's painful, but thick skin. It always leads you to the next yes. So doors are always open. It's just which one